Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the further adventures of Cecil Powell here in Void Bastards. So like I said yesterday, I think we're just gonna go downward. It seems like the game is more fun at greater depth, but we're gonna have to go around this nuke mine. I don't know this for sure, I'm just suspecting that it's not a good idea to crash into the giant mine. It is maybe the case that we should go like fuel cells, go down from here, fuel cells, food pack, and then down? Yeah, that might be a good idea, because like loading up on supplies before we go to the more difficult part of space is probably wise. I suspect we can tear through this part of the adventure very quickly. And like, as we continue on, I'm sure like the more valuable stuff is going to get further and further down, and we're going to have to get good at dealing with the harder and harder ships, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Let's see, there's going to be staples here. I mean, we can use our regulator for now. I'll stick with the fast whacker, and I mean, this is going to be a pretty easy one. We don't have to stress too much about our equipment here. I'm excited to get back down to depth 2, though. Hopefully without running into quite so many pirates right away, although we do have a thing for that. Wow, I just like... You can see their heads glowing in the dark, and I just elected to shoot at absolutely nothing. It's a good start. Alright. Yeah, I knew that headshot wasn't gonna land. Where am I going here? I suppose we ought to probably just, like, haul for the helm. Oh, wait. Oh, it's in this little room over here. Hey, free merits. It turns out we immediately need some. Okay, some transit regs. I still don't really have a good sense of what is used to build what. And there's too many pieces of equipment, or too many ingredients and stuff, for you to just know all that off the top of your head, I guess. Let's upset the tourist. Okay, any little piece of cover will do, it turns out. See, I will say, on a ship like this, the ships that are all dark, I'm definitely a big fan of the loot showing up on the HUD, or on the mini-map. Hey, stop. He tricked me, he got me. He managed to bait me into a position where he couldn't possibly miss. Oh, shoot, we stepped in oil. Alright, well, that's going to complicate things very slightly. Because the Juves and also, we know, the janitors lead their shots the way they do, the oil's actually kind of dangerous. Like, you're way more likely to get hit when you're oil slicked. Hey, guy. Okay, we definitely did not get them all here. You know, even though I don't have crouch as a toggle, I am still treating it as a, even though I do have crouch as a toggle, I'm still treating it like it has to be held down. I'm getting none of the benefits from this. My brain just, like, will not adjust to this idea. Okay. Any loot on the ground in here? Nope, nothing interesting. Man, the explosion angle, or the explosion area on the tourists is really huge. I always think, well, this time I'll be far enough away. And I have not once been right about that. Alright, 29 merits is a pretty good find. What if I just ran? What if I just ran away from the... Oops. The doorway is over here. And then that actually doesn't even have a closable door. Alright. Well, that answers that question. You can't really just run, because they never ever stop chasing you. Stop running. It is definitely harder to fight enemies in the dark. It's like, if we were in the light, I don't know that I would have killed them any faster, but I certainly wouldn't have wasted as much ammunition, because I would have been able to see when they were about to go around a corner. Maybe I should be locking doors behind me more or something. Okay, this time, for sure, we are far enough away. Alright, I think that thing was aware of us, but... oh, maybe it lost interest. Or maybe not. That right there is why we closed the door, so that I could hear it if it came up behind me. There is one more. Ah, there it is. What is the first game that did this, like, this kind of differentiation where, like, looking at the lockers, you can tell real quickly which ones have loot on them because they have a green light? Is that a Borderlands 1 thing that has then been adopted by lots of other games, or does it date from further back than that? Okay, wow, we have had to spend an awful lot of merits on this run. Well, I'm sorry, I guess we've had the opportunity to spend an awful lot of merits on this run. I suppose as the game goes on, as we saw there, as the game goes on, those are going to get less and less worthwhile to interact with because there's going to be more and more types of loot items that we don't need. It's like it extremely was not worth my trouble to pay. Oh wait, there's loot sparkles over there. Okay, 30 rivets. I was about to say, that was probably a mistake. I bet whatever's over there wasn't worth the 2 bullets. But this was... what it was 30 bullets. For a gun we don't have yet, but still. Yeah, I definitely do not need more FTL nozzles. We paid like 25 credits for 10 slag or something? Okay, we can make a spike hunter. I don't know that I want to. Do we know that transit regs are used for anything else? Because I don't particularly need the spike hunter, but if the... yeah, it looks like at the moment we do not, in fact, see any other use for these, so sure. Who knows? Maybe we'll really fall in love with the spiker later on. Oops, I click to build instead of click to recycle. Oops, that was wasteful. Alright, these we all definitely have uses for. Let's have our quick little encounters here. Got ourselves 4 fuel. And also 7 food, cheese and onion sandwiches. Huh. Well, you know, Cecil Powell and I are just very different people. Okay, there's a gene therapy thing, some bullets. Okay, this is going to be an evasion-type ship. No minimap available. That is inconvenient. I mean, it says no minimap, it doesn't say no map, so I'm assuming that we will still have a normal map that we can access with tab. I'm going to bring the regulator on this one. We definitely want the zapper. We functionally do not have a way of killing screws. This is probably going to be a lot of sneaking and running. It's going to be a lot easier to do on account of the lights being on. Okay, so let's just actually try to be a little bit careful this time. Okay, lock it, lock it. So that was a test. I was unsure whether the enemies could hear, whether other enemies could hear the explosions from the tourists, and it turns out they can. So on this ship, we're going to want to avoid the tourists as much as possible, because each one we blow up is potentially going to bring a screw running. Alright, let's do... actually, I don't have a lot of stuff here. I just need any piece of garbage. Okay, well, directly finding merits is also good. FTL is this way. We're not looking for any particularly valuable thing here. Really all we need is a way out, and obviously we want to hit the gene therapy booth. And also, of course, hit the engine bay, because fuel. And we're starting to get enough of an understanding of the systems that I don't need to be explicitly told where the different types of loot are, which is a good thing. Alright, we know that screws are too tall to fit through these like little ventilation areas. So if we encounter one and we have to flee from it at great speed, we know that's there.
WCG facilities.
You know, I'm just gonna lock doors. I probably should have been locking the doors more aggressively. Ah, that's a lot of bullets. Alright, I don't think we really need to go through everything here. Like, I'm sure there's some loot that we would care about, but the danger here, I think, is too great to really be stressed about it. Okay, just wait for this guy to move away from the door a little bit. Actually, you know what we should do? We should... Oh. Apparently I missed something there. Some guy just left his finger in his bunk. We should lock that too, because now both of those doors are locked and there's no way in here from behind. Yeah, that table is not going to be enough cover. So now we only have to worry about enemies that are actually in front of us. Can I fit that? No, that is not actually an opening. Alright. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not looking up at all. I wonder if there are going to be any like ventilation duct type areas that are not on the floor. We can just lock this then. Where's the therapy thing? It's... we can safely run in here for loot. It's like a lot of noise happening all at the same time, and I'm not sure what's like what's mechanically significant and what's not. Okay, that's part of what it was. So that's a thing. Ooh, okay. Just use this bushwhacker and hope. Darn it, that's not where I wanted that. That work? That totally worked. And it seems like there are no screws in this area. I don't intend to go down to security, so why don't we just... There's definitely a screw on the other side of that door. Whose finger is this? Where did this finger come from? Because it's where we killed the tourist. Man, do you think the tourists just have, like, a lot of fingers on the inside? Why did I say that out loud? Now I'm picturing it. Ugh. Okay. Nothing else of value here. Let's get a little therapy and get out of here. Sticky feet can't be knocked back unaffected by lubricant leaks. I don't think I care about that. 80% of the time when out of ammo, get another clip. Or damaged by radiation at half the normal rate. Well, it's a free trait. Why wouldn't we take it? I don't think any of those are great. We haven't really seen any radiation yet, though. Possible that will end up being really good. Right, a pair of restraint pads feels valuable to me. Hey, that was a really lucky pull. So... yeah, I think we still care about this. We could probably go through the Krellmart. We have enough merits to do a little shopping. Probably it does not matter what items we bring. It makes me a little nervous that it asks us to set up like normal, though. It makes me wonder if it is potentially the case that these are not all safe. Just free stuff. Okay, we can definitely sell some materials. So it seems like we get Plas, data, and bio a lot. Do one of these, one of those. So we have a lot of slag. Sure, we'll sell some slag. Okay, is there anything we actually want to buy? We have lots of food and biscuits. We do not have any warp keys, but we can't afford one, and I also don't know what they do. We have a torpedo. I'm not going to stress too much about the torpedoes. So I kind of think we don't need anything right now. Checking to see if anybody left any valuables in the bathroom. People never look up in video games. I'm trying to train myself to look up more. What is this? Nothing. That is nothing. I can't even tell, like, what in universe this object is supposed to be. It might be the case that, like, looking up more is a waste because the people developing the games know people don't look up, and so they just don't put stuff up there that's worth seeing. But I'm trying not to miss, like, you know, secret paths and... Alright, let's just keep moving. So, I'm not 100% clear on whether we'll be able to go, like, from this down to the food pack. Because it's backward, but it's only a little backward. No, we are not. Okay, you are never allowed to go any amount left. So we'll have to steer around this nuke mine then. And we can just rest and heal, but I don't think we have to. So we're going to get another restraint pad. We're definitely going to be breaking down some of these. And let's just save all of our fancy tools for a fancier situation. Come on. There we go. I mean, who hasn't been so upset that they literally exploded about their luggage? You know what? I gotta go turn on the power. What am I thinking? Ooh, do I want to reprogram this? Oh, I can't do it right now anyway. I have to turn on the generator first. I feel like we spend a lot of time walking around carrying other people's fingers. I hope I have, like, a special bag for that or something. I hope I'm not just having to, like, hold a handful of fingers. Wow, 6 food. I really do, like, the comic book splash art style is a really good way of highlighting when you find something unusual like that. I knew that was here. Why am I just walking in like this is no big deal? I'm going to subvert you. Alright, this Gunpoint and I, we are like friends. So we'll go to the gene therapy thing, and if we get in trouble, we can lure the enemies back to the turret so as to not have to spend ammunition on them. I don't know, that might have been a waste of merits. Hey look, it's that restraint pad. 10% chance of pirate vessels not pursuing. I'm not too worried about that. Ooh, can fly around nuke mines. That actually seems like it might be useful. And receive more materials from recycled junk or parts. Let's take that. So we're about to have a nuke mine in our path. Being able to route around that easily is actually kind of nice. Did he just say my hat right before exploding? His hat was... He had his hat. That was a totally unnecessary death. Now I just feel sorry for him. Seems like this area is maybe heavily populated. Wow. Good shooting there, SB. Alright, I am starting to get a little bit torn up here. Maybe we should just... oh! Hostile pup bot. What are you doing? Okay. top. Wow, that thing has a lot of health. It's just running around alerting enemies, right? I guess I don't care that much about that. Alright, where's all the good stuff? It turns out, no big surprise, there's a bunch of stuff in the tombs. And we have fuel. I don't necessarily have to go to FTL. I missed a thing here, though. Part of the reason that I'm willing to... Why did I miss this? Oh, yep, little drawer right there. Part of the reason I'm willing to go around here and fight all these enemies is partially the hope that I won't take a lot of damage. And secondly, my feeling that regulator ammo is maybe not all that valuable. I'm guessing we're going to find it's the case that when we're fighting things that are a little bit more difficult, the regulator is just not the right tool. And so I want to, let's use regulator ammo. Let's exchange regulator ammo to get more chances at real salvage, with which we can build the things that will help us take on the actually difficult challenges. Really hard to jam yourself through a window. Right, because there's still at least 3 weapons that we haven't unlocked yet. I'm suspecting when we're doing the tough ships, we'll be using those mostly. This game does look really good. I think this art style is very strong. Okay. Let's just loop around as quickly as possible, because that pup bot is definitely still running around barking. It seems like maybe they just don't turn off. Once you've alerted a pup bot, it is alerted permanently until you destroy it. Alright, definitely have stuff. I guess maybe I should be cautious with our volts. I think volts were the thing we had the least of. Just like bad reflexes right there. Saw an enemy, got kind of startled, immediately blew him up directly into my own face. I wonder if the oil slicks make you any faster. It's possible that it would have been the right thing to hit that one on purpose. Well, I guess we have to turn occasionally, though. We did super well on food there. 24 days. Well, I think we are somewhat freed from the tyranny of food. Yeah, this seems useful. 5% chance of scavenging bonus junk from containers. We need a spanner, which we cannot build, and a latex seal, which we totally can. Alright, so we're just gonna steer through the... Like, let's go get the fuel cells, and then we're gonna steer through the nuke mine. I don't necessarily want to get, mutated here. Oh, so of course the mutator moves to the nuke mine. Well... If we lost Ace Pilot while we were at the nuke mine, I'm going to assume that would be really bad. So, never mind. We're just going to go here. The piece of special loot is not actually valuable to us at all. And there's our ID card. We're close. Ooh. Garbage collector. Alright, let's see if we can catch up with that. We'll just do this ship very quickly. Actually, you know what? Let's try out the spiker. I'm curious about its efficacy. This might be a good opportunity to test it. So the first thing we gotta do is make it to the generator. And we gotta be careful while we're doing that, because it is potentially the case that
You're right, dick bug.
oh, isn't that supposed to be doing damage? Okay, it does damage slowly. Just gotta be real careful here because we are in some significant danger if we aggro a screw with the power off. Don't run. Just be very cautious and smart. And don't blow up the tourists. Generator is through Atmo. Okay, I think we're gonna be alright here. Alright, now we can at least lock doors. Does that guy know where I am? He might have been drawn by, yeah, the sound of me running briefly. Okay, reason not to take a hit off of the oxygen supply. Oh, I should probably loot stuff. Yeah, we don't need to go back to the helm. We know approximately what is over here. See, I don't love this. We don't know where the screw is, so I prefer not to blow up this tourist. I guess we don't hear stomping. We can probably afford to do this. He blew up on the carpet. That'll muffle the sound some, right? Guy's almost as bad a shot as I am. Oh good, the FTL nozzle. We found it, everybody! Here's a question. Running on the carpet doesn't make noise, but if I run on the parts where it's been like... Yes, okay, that is actually hard floor that makes noise. Carpet being pulled up there is not entirely cosmetic. Good to know, and something that we definitely need to watch out for in the future. How much am I pushing it here? We're going to run into the screw. There's at least one screw on this ship, right? We're going to run into him eventually. There's so much loot to be had, and I'm so greedy. Okay. That's annoying, slippery, whatever. Why is there so much coolant inside the ship, anyway? I think that voice we're hearing right now is the screw. Certainly doesn't sound like one of the Juves. Oh. That screw is an ally. It occurs to me that I did not actually read the traits of this particular ship. Probably that would have been a good idea. Always read the traits. Reading is fundamental. So if this is the only screw on the ship, then maybe we are free to just completely loot the place. I guess we're gonna find out. Damn it. What I was about to say is, at this point, I have so many bullets that I don't even care about wasting them on tourists, but we do still have to actually, like, hit the enemies. There we go. Okay, I think we've just about got the whole place. This is like the last major room. Where is this? Oh, this big mini fridge right here. Sort of a space paradox thing there. It is both big and mini. How can this be? Well, let me tell you, this is the magic of space. Sometimes in space you can foolishly describe an object as having completely mutually exclusive properties, and nobody can argue with you, because of space. Alright, well this was fantastic. We found a ton of useful stuff on this ship. Including a warp key that we still don't really know what it's for. So I don't know if it's like... Do the wormholes require you to have a warp key to use them? Or are they actually bad and a warp key Lets you avoid getting sucked into them against your will. Who knows? I guess we're going to find out. Next time we have the opportunity to go through a wormhole, we should. The cluster flak releases a chained cluster of bombs. Hey, that sounds pretty good. We keep our eyes out for a detonator. Okay, one type of citizen is allied. And it's all the citizens of one type. Well, to be perfectly honest, I kind of hope it's... I was about to say I kind of hope it's the tourists. Because we're only going to have... Like, there's only going to be the one screw, probably, right? But tourists being allied with you probably doesn't actually do anything. They probably still explode when you get close, and the explosion still probably damages you. Just going to go ahead and lock that. Oh no, okay. So it is in fact the screw that's allied with us then. Right? We're gonna... Yeah, okay. Cool. Nothing at all to fear on this ship either. We've gotten lucky a couple of times here. Whoa, okay. Still able to scare the hell out of me though. Get ourselves a volt and a slag, which I guess I will just immediately exchange for merits. It feels like 5 merits for a single point of resources is a pretty good rate of exchange. And then no matter what the resource is or how much you need it. Okay, we'll just try to get through this ship as quickly as possible on account of it providing absolutely no challenge. You show them, Screws. That screw is taking like a very small amount of damage. Actually, it's not that small. Well, I mean, we know that the, oh, metal tube. I think we actually still have uses for a metal tube. We know that the tourist explosion does a lot more damage to enemies than it does to us. So probably tourists are an okay way to take down a screw. Like, I imagine you'd need a lot of them, but it probably works. Make sure we're not missing anything in the bunks here. We check? No, we have not been in the ammo room. I'm totally coming around on loot objects appearing on the map once you get kind of anywhere near them. Now that I understand the number of ships you're going to end up going through on a run and how some of them are just going to be completely trivialized either by your equipment or by the random traits that get assigned. Like some of these you just want to go through very, very quickly. Apparently that guy was filled with bullets. They're not all entirely fingers on the inside. Oh, is that our 4th restraint pad in 3 ships? Damn it, I was really hoping that the wall there being up to height just above the tourist was going to be enough to protect us, but apparently it does not work that way. If you can shoot him, he can explode on you. Hey guys, a big terrifying party. And authorized in half the normal time. I don't think I care about that. Fast runner or... No, I think we're good. I don't think we need any of these traits. Well, this character is feeling like pretty well crafted at this point to me. We should probably hit the helm because we haven't actually been in here yet. Oh boy. It does take a moment to switch weapons. Oh, shoot. Okay, I just barely made it around the corner there.
What if they destroy my cases?
So we saw something earlier that implied that, like, trash has some kind of status effect attached to it. Right, wasn't there something that like reduced the amount of damage you took from garbage, or the length of the status effect from garbage or something? Weird that we just we walked over that before I remembered that, but that big pile of garbage didn't actually do anything to us. I wonder if it's like if the garbage that's bad for you is maybe like more obviously toxic. Or, now that I'm saying it, feeling unsure about it actually being a thing that happened at all, maybe I'm just making this all up. Okay, do we have the ability to build... What does it take to make a spanner? Okay, we need a ton of volt, and volt seems to be pretty hard to come by. Okay, so of the stuff we have here, it's just the FTL nozzle that's not helpful. Alright. Down into the depths. I'm hoping we can catch that garbage collector. And I'm also hoping that we don't get killed by the junk squid. Actually, so like if we go here, and this junk squid moves up there, as we don't know, maybe the junk squids can also not move left? Yeah, but if we don't go down to this thing right now, we won't be able to hit this thing with the latex seal and the garbage collector, because it's to the left of this Krell freighter. So this is where we're going. And we'll just hope that the squids don't do anything terrible. Okay, the squids can definitely move left. Good to know. Alright, so here we're going to see spooks, which is a new enemy. Tons of bullets and zap charges, no fuel. Alright. Guess let's just bring our most basic loadout. Stun spooks to stop them from phasing out. So maybe we want to be walking around with the zapper out. This was said to be an unusually small ship. That's pretty tight. It looks a little bit like one of the ships from FTL, actually. We'll just go around that. That hallway, unfortunately, is a very awkward length, and we probably could have, like, whipped a bushwhacker or maybe a couple of bushwhackers down there. But I don't know that I want to make that much noise while we're on a ship with a type of enemy we've never seen before. There we go. Actually, maybe what I want to do here is... Oh, I don't have a lot of... Oh, jeez. Get shot at. What I was about to say is maybe I don't want to... Okay. Wow. That's a scary looking dude. Okay, so they're not super tough. I'm just gonna turn off security for a minute here. I was gonna say, hey, maybe we should just rewire the gunpoint and have it fight the spooks for us. But then I remember that we're actually, like, very short this run on merits, or at least we were. Hey, how you doing? It seems like maybe they don't want to fight you from the front. They just, like, won't engage. Disappear and come at you from a different angle later. I was trying to stun it prematurely while the security was still off, but apparently it doesn't work that way. What is... Oh, hey, that's a sandwich. I need that. Quickly. I'm actually taking kind of a lot of damage here. Think we're good, though? Let's just route back through the tombs and get the hell out of here. So I can see how spooks, if not encountered totally alone on a tiny vessel that has few enemies, could be a real pain, especially if you're like trying to run away from other stuff. We got two Form 82Bs that we don't need. Unfortunately, I can't imagine these being... Oh, okay, 20 data. It's not a thing we really need, but it is a lot of a thing we don't need. Oh, we could just build an ID card. Okay. We're close to the ID card on the map. I think we're going to go after this, rather than spending our resources building one. And save those for something else that we need, that we're going to have a harder time getting. So, scribes and spooks. There's a warp key cached somewhere, and it's a very smoky thing. You know, we actually have a ton of food. I'm going to rest a little bit. I was really hoping that the garbage collector was going to move toward us, not away. Okay, so we don't know what a scribe is. Maybe this would be a good time to bring the stapler. So, like, stapler... It's hard to imagine we want anything more other than the fast whacker, though, in the indirect slot. With the arming delay reduced, those are actually very powerful. The ship is called the Purity Partner? That's... I mean, listen, that's just a set of decisions you're allowed to make. Whoa. Okay, well, we don't know exactly what they do, but we do know they're not terribly tough. And also, the way they're shaped makes headshots really easy.
Emptiness.
That being said, there's still no reason to fight everything.
Not you again.
Actually, can I destroy this peeper now? Yeah. Okay, so they have sort of a machine gun attack.
Not you again.
Oh, jeez. Alright, we are making all of the noise in the world. All of the noise in space. But we do have all this smoke to help protect us. Aha! Alright, we're going through staples fairly quickly. But we're a lot smarter about the smoke than they are. I definitely think we could have done this with the Enforcer. Okay, and so far, I don't know. It's hard to say just yet, but it doesn't seem like the loot on this ship is, like, hugely better. I wonder if they heal when they teleport. Wow, did I manage to just miss him at point blank range? Who just fired, like, up above his head? It's not my fault. I was baffled by his extremely good hat. Alright, let's test something. Okay, the gun points are actually reliant on line of sight. There's a gun point right on the other side of the smoke. And it was not able to shoot me while I was right in front of it there. When we saw it open up there, I thought maybe it was detecting us with, I don't know, infrared or something, but I think it just saw me in the little gap as I was walking over. I guess let's go this way. I should probably hit the O2. Was that, like, harmonica? Where's the O2 thing? Here it is. Was that harmonica noise the ship, or do the scribes play harmonica when they think nobody's around?
Excuse me.
Right, that's not a thing I want to mess with. Okay, that'll kill the camera for us. Good to know. We just run back here if we get in trouble. Or if we get lazy, just don't want to spend the effort to pull the trigger. Oh, so they run away. I was going to try to lure them back into the gunpoint, but they're cowards. Also, this gun, really not effective at that range. Yeah, the fact that they can they can see us from really far away due to the design of this area of the ship actually really sucks. Because what I want to do here is sneak up on them, right? But that is just not happening. Alright, well, so far, we have not gotten a lot of value. I guess we could... This is probably a little faster to go around like this. We've not gotten a lot of value out of hacking the gun points, but we're learning about enemy behavior at least. We're still early in the game. There's a lot of system left to get a hold of. Oh, there's our warp key. And we're getting volts, which is nice. Also, a lot of harmonica music, which is weird. I guess it's not that weird for a space game to have harmonica music in it. There's an awful lot of, like, space cowboy stuff out there. But it's weird for this game to suddenly have harmonica music in it. I mean, we're definitely seeing more challenge immediately from being down in depth 2. Yeah, we still need spanner. It's pretty much all we need for everything. They are not easy to find, and they're not super easy to build either. So enemies have half health due to infighting, but there are a lot of security elements on this ship. Well, I think we're actually going to take the regulator rather than the stapler here. So do I maybe want to bring the spiker? Now, you know what? We may need to blow some things up. I guess we don't necessarily need the zapper. Yeah, it says there's lots of security elements. I don't want to go in here with the fast whacker being our only way of dealing with gun points. We don't have enough of them for that. Not on this character. I think in general we're going to find that the regulator is better against scribes. How did I manage to just miss that first shot entirely? I think I hit the peeper on the wall back there, actually. Stop, stop. Oh no, I didn't hit the peeper on the wall. Right, the peeper was damaged due to infighting. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, Secbot is not that tough if we just fight him while we are still caffeinated. Hopefully the ship does not build a new one. Right, still caffeinated. One shot is fine. Well, this has gone poorly so far. Keep an eye on the ceiling. So yeah, it seems like when we hit those things from the front, it's almost always going to be a headshot just due to the nature of the shape of their bodies. And let's not concern ourselves too much with what exactly it is that happened to them that makes them like that. That's a question that we're not going to be happy with any of the potential answers to. It does still say Secbot active, so maybe there is another one. You know what? Okay, problem solved. Multiple problems solved. Well, at least this time we have some idea where the finger is from. I don't know why that makes me more comfortable carrying around someone's finger, but it does. It actually does. Oh, that's no good. We could go through and just turn off the security systems for a second here. Stop, stop. Nope, hey, there we go. Okay, there are scribes in here as well. I suppose that's a pretty good place for a turret. Might as well smash these while we're here. Yeah, you can really, you can burn through your health really quickly on some of these ships.
What is it now?
I think SecBot might have gotten stuck. So there has been a SecBot active that whole time, but he was like stuck on the electricity. Slowly dying. Replace Ace Pilot with Deadeye. You know what? I'm assuming that Deadeye will make it so that our shots always actually go to the center of the crosshair, and that sounds great. Security thing is, it turns out, not permanent. I'm stuck. Okay, there we go. They built in a little failsafe there. I imagine he's going to unfreeze pretty soon. So if you get stuck on one of those things for too long, it just breaks. Stop. Actually, at this point, it might be the case that there's not even any value in me destroying those anymore. You know what? We missed a bunch of loot on our way through here. I don't know that it's actually in our best interest to go get it. Even if we get through here without taking any damage, we're going to be spending a bunch of ammo. And I know we have a lot of ammo now, but we should not assume that it will always be the case. Okay, finally. And as soon as we lose Ace Pilot, all of a sudden, I really wish I still had it. Okay. Many electrical hazards, a bunch of junk that is not in containers. This is not a big deal. I think we're probably okay to go with the regulator on this one. Well, let's try the spiker again. We haven't really given it a fair shake. I have no idea how effective it's going to be if I'm actually being stealthy. And this is not a good showcase for it. I mean, it does okay damage. The fact that using it does not alert enemies means that if it does any amount of damage at all, it could be valuable, right? As long as I can actually apply it in a stealthy way. But it looks like I cannot ever do anything in a stealthy way. It's just not really who I am. Okay, so that guy will just die slowly over time. Not even any loot in here. Alright, I don't know if it actually has a damage cap or if it just ticks forever. But it does do quite a bit of damage overall. Also, the janitors, despite the fact that they can sort of fly, not immune to the electrical hazards on the floor. So this ship was marked as messy, meaning there's a lot of stuff that is not in containers, and as such is not marked on the map. So we do have to be paying attention to our surroundings here. You know, if I was any good at looking up like I was talking about earlier, all these peepers would not be such a problem. Okay, this must be the ship where all the rich guys live. That dude had 2 fingers in his bed. How do all these wires even get... Like, these are coming out of the floor, huh? Who designed the wiring systems in this place that this was even possible? Why is there all this live cabling like an inch below the floor? Alright. We've taken quite a lot of damage over the last couple of ships, but honestly, I still don't really feel like we're in a terrible position here. Place Deadeye with Cannibal. That's probably not necessary. We don't actually know if thick-skinned is useful at all, so... You know what? I feel like I'm pretty good at finding the food. I'm not going to stress about it. Out of curiosity... Okay. Yeah, there's an awful lot of stuff sitting around on this ship, and some of it's actually worth a lot of resources. It's remarkably hard to pick up. I guess that's fair. I don't, I'm tall enough that I don't find myself having
Even as
to...
a bag of powder,
Oh, hey,
you
we
were
did it.
clearly special.
I'm tall enough that I don't find myself having to jump up and grab stuff that is on top of objects that are taller than me very often. Maybe it is difficult. I don't know. Aggro this guy and then... Nope, I thought I was going to be able to hide in this corner here. I was not planning on the big chair. Well, all we have to do is actually make it back to the Steve, right? So perhaps that should be our goal immediately. It looks like we picked the place pretty clean anyway. Alright. It's probably the case that we could just jump over there, but what if we went around it? Look at this. It's just like Deus Ex. I was going to say, I had forgotten that there were tourists on the ship because we haven't seen very many, but I think what we saw right there is why. They just keep wandering into the electrical wires. On the whole, this has been a remarkably easy ship. And I guess I have taken a huge amount of damage, but it's not because the ship was hard. Sometimes you take damage because the game is hard, and sometimes you take damage because you're bad at the game.
You now
and
have
it's important
all the
to
parts
know the
required
difference.
to forge a new citizen card. On second thoughts, let's avoid the forge word in our future discussions.
Okay, so how exactly is this going to help? The ACS... Oh, okay, there's not... I think I misunderstood our predicament. There's nothing wrong with the FTL drive. It's not broken. When we found that FTL nozzle, you remember, I was like, okay, with this, maybe we can fix the thing. It's not broken. The computer's just refusing to restart it. Turns out outer space is a bureaucratic nightmare. Yeah, I think we should maybe do this.
Employee retention protocols require me to state the following. Wow. Now, let's return to the Void Ark and restart the FTL drive.
Hold on, I made my own citizen card. I couldn't even be first class? Really?
In recognition of your behavioral competency, WCG is delighted to offer you a sentence reduction of 16 days.
Okay, what does that bring
This
my
reduction
sentence
will
down
likely
to?
offset the sentence for counterfeiting a citizen card.
Ah.
Oh dear, it looks like you've tried to use an unregistered citizen card. Did you forget to register your citizen card with HR?
What HR?
Do you want to use the HR computer? Because that would require the HR computer to have not been stolen.
Okay,
Don't
alright.
worry, I'm sure you can find the parts to construct one.
I am starting to understand the magnitude of the task before us. Ah.
Please contain your excitement while I issue you a bonus client care package.
Oh hey, duct tape. I think we actually need this.
Your action items. Obtain a tactical computer, a wiring diagram, and a mouse ball. But don't neglect your work-life balance.
It's cutting a little close there. Yeah, a mouse ball. I think we even have a mouse ball. Or maybe it's just we have the stuff necessary to make one. Okay, let's make our travel subsidy. Provides a heart starter to revive you from death. We need another copy of Surgery for Dummies. We definitely... I think we had one of these already. You can't just read it. We need the actual materials from it. That binding glue is a very important part of the thing. So, hold on. Did we have... Oh, maybe I am... Travel Rort. Maybe I'm misremembering? Let's see. These are in alphabetical order. So mouse ball would be a bunch of Plaza and Volt. Maybe we did get one and we used it already. Right, what else was it we needed? A mouse ball, a wiring diagram, and a tack pewter. So no big surprise, a whole bunch of Volt. And a wiring diagram, which is okay, just data and Plaz. We're actually pretty close on that. Okay, and I bet the number of hex nuts in the thing is the depth at which you find it. So like an atomic clock is actually really hard to get a hold of and extremely expensive to build. Holy crap. Alright, so we need a restraint pad to make this happen. We don't currently know if the restraint pad is used for anything else. Like, it shows us could build something later, but it probably only shows you that text if there's nothing current you can build with it. So basically I'm wondering how many of these flak vests we can break down. They break down into Plaz, which is fine, I guess. Okay, so the stuff from Greater Depths actually breaks down into more raw materials as well. And we got this Doom Tube in a ship that was 2 depth, so maybe I'm not entirely correct on this. Maybe it's just more of just sort of like an abstract measure of the item's quality. Okay, well, anyway, we are definitely going to need
the Void
more
Ark
stuff.
has descended into the nebula. Are nebula emissions stronger at this depth? Yes. Does this present OH&S challenges? Possibly.
Okay, so they're going to start us deeper now. That's good, at least. Alright, I think we're starting to have a better grasp of the game systems. I think that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we probably rapidly descend to Depth 3 and see how many horrible ways there are for us to die out here. And we'll see you then.